Hello, everyone. This is Benjamin. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I don't know if it started yet. It did. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Hello, everyone. This is Benjamin Ramirez. Today, I'm gonna start doing something I wanted to do last year. I couldn't because that's like it's kind of personal. But around last year, I wanted to do a schedule. I wanted Monday to be puzzle day lessons, Tuesday to be group game versus 1200 baht for beginners, a Wednesday to be speed chess, which is today, against 2,200 baht plus, just to show how crazy they are. They're pretty crazy. Thursday, my own games with explanations and at the end analysis. Fridays was going to be like variants, just for fun. And Saturday and Sundays were supposed to be game versus viewers. That's pretty much the plan I had for what I wanted to do. Another thing I wanted to start doing was sharing my games to my stream to my homepage and also to a few chess groups before starting. So I'm gonna start getting on that now before I start the video. So in the future, if you ever wanna watch my videos and you know there's a long intro, you can always fast forward between one to like 5 minutes depending, and it should be fine because my intros are gonna be a little long because I gotta go ahead and share stuff, and I just gotta find it as well. Which I'm okay. I found it. My intros are gonna be a little long. Now that I found it, I'm gonna share it. And like I said, in the future, anytime you want to watch my live videos, feel free to do that. It's not gonna bother me at all. So, all right. See something? Going live Monday through Friday. All right. It said a viewer, and I completely forgot that I had to be on in order to do this. In order to share it, I had to open it up. So it's like, hey, say hi to me. All right, we're gonna now that I'm doing this, I should probably put a chat overlay. Make it a little smaller. Apologize if you're on a small screen, but almost every streamer I've seen has their chat available for people to look at. So I kind of want people to maybe look at it. You know, I don't expect any much right now, but who knows? I'll make it lucky and may have a few. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. The only thing I can really see, however, on the live chat would be from YouTube. I can't see the other ones, so I apologize if you're on Twitch trying to comment and talk to me. I have a chat overlay though, so hopefully, how do I get the overlay to show what's going on? If I click on show, okay, it's underneath the picture. So I hope as I'm watching it, it doesn't okay, I'm gonna see real quick. I'm on YouTube. So okay, it's underneath the board. Perfect. Last time when I did this, it was not underneath the board at all. So change the mode, speed chess. How do I change the I want to change the time thing on it. Custom. It's a custom. There goes time, 5 minutes. Oh, 3-2, 3-2. All right. Let's have some fun. So speed chess for an hour. All right. Let's go Gnome. Gnome, Noam. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Oh, he's taking his time. I see. Maybe it's not loading up yet for the computer. Watch me beat him on time. There it goes. All right. Let's get started. Maybe I'll win on time because he's like being extra slow. I thought I was going to lose on time because of my internet connection isn't super great. It doesn't freeze up a whole lot, but it may maybe once or twice a game. So okay, that's very standard. It's called the Old Indian. I thought this was a perk because of the D move, but I completely forgot. Like after yeah, I kind of messed it up. After C4, I usually yeah, okay, I get it, makes sense. I thought it was called a perk, but I completely forgot that E4, D6, then after that it will be considered a perk. So they're very similar, by the way, the perk and the Indian. Yeah, it's like this setup here, but the E pawn's here instead. And it's usually E, D pawn, the knight's here, not the pawn up. So it's usually this pawn is usually back here, and this knight's up here, and this pawn's usually here. That's usually the perk. So that's the only difference is this pawn's up here and this pawn's back here. All right. So here. So besides that, it's usually similar. I think that ad's weird on the side. Like I don't know how to remove ad. I want to click it, but I don't want it to ruin the screen, you know? And he's taking for a long time for some reason. I really, really hope that it's not my connection and it's making a spot go super slow. Because he's going to lose on time, and then I have to make that time higher, and then it's not going to be speed chess no more. And I really want to do speed chess with him, so. Maybe towards the end, the computer is going to move super fast. Now, white, 33 seconds, 27, 14, 20, 24. So he's moving on 20 seconds per move. A game is roughly 30 moves, 2 times 3, 6. That's like maybe 10-minute game. Maybe would be about more appropriate for 30 moves. But then I can purposely try to make the game last longer and win on time. So it'd be like a 15-minute game plus 10 seconds would be the best. Because a 10-second increment will make it 10 seconds per move, close to it in 15 minutes. 6 moves per minute. It's over 100, maybe 90. So 16, well, 6 times 15 is 90. So it'd be like 90 moves per game. It's not that bad. I can probably do that. Probably put on 15-10. But I want to speed chess. I want to speed chess him. I want to. All right. If he takes, I can take. He can take. I can take. The world is okay. The whole world is okay. Yeah, and this doesn't stress me out, even though I'm like considered rated 1600 whatever. He's 22. I've played bot. I normally play against the higher bots, and he just moves in time. Yeah. You know what? If this bot is like this for you guys, I don't know why it's like this for me. I'm assuming it's my connection, but if the bot's like this for you, you can actually try to how many moves is that? 9 moves? Put it on 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, 3 seconds increment, or 5, and see if you can survive long enough. You know, if you're like a beginner, but like, hey, I'm gonna survive on time, and just try to do okay and be stable in the beginning. That might actually be pretty interesting. I'm gonna do a new game, and it really sucks that the timing thing is like that. I'm gonna choose Gnome again. I'm gonna try to do 5-5. That's almost double the time. 18 moves. Let's see how that works. I really don't want to go far higher than 5-5 because I'm really trying to play fast games with him. I'm trying to play the, so I'll give him some more time. Hopefully, double time, 18 moves. Let's see how that works. Maybe get 20 moves in. My goal will be survive 20 moves. Yes, which would be easy. I used to practice 30 moves with the Grandmaster bots, so. Yeah, he's too slow. the ready opening is going to change to the Perk or the King's Indian based on if he plays e4 or d4, c4. See, yeah, old Indian, Anglo Indian right now, King's Indian defense. It just changes opening goes on. It's not really defined within the first move. It's usually defined after the opening is over. And then it's like, oh, it's this opening. It started off this way, but it's really this. All right, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. All right, so all I got to do is survive 20 moves. Be pretty easy. English opening, Anglo-Indian, Queen Indian, vice versa. So basically right now, if a non-book move is played, this will be the opening. If a non-book move is played, it will just stay like this. I've never seen that before, to be honest. If I take and he takes, I don't have that yet. And I don't want to push forward, so I'm going to move this pawn up one. And if he tries to push forward, I'll just take it. It's perfectly fine. And right now he gave me the square for my knight. So my knight can happily come in here and I can push up. But he has this knight. So I should probably pin it first and then bring it up and maybe trade it off so I can have a super strong knight in the center. The bishop, it might be a problem. All right. It's definitely normal King's Indian. This is normal to have these 3 pawns up here. Control their center, you know. Good things, good things. Yeah, I'm trying to play speed chess with the bot, but he's taking too long to move for some reason. I don't know if you know anything about it. I've never when I used to play these, it was move immediately. Now they're taking like 20 seconds per move. And I wanted to play a fast game versus the bot. But he's still playing like 20 seconds per move. So I don't know if there's anything I can do to change that. If you know about it, let me know. Maybe I can fix it. Oh, I guess you're gone. All right. Maybe someone else would be helpful. Because I really have no idea why he's doing that. All right, he's attacking. Move up. I was expecting crazy tactics and lots of crazy losses. I'm going to take. My knight can't go here now because it's pawn. Kind of probably a bad idea. But I can move this up. Maybe trade. Eventually bring this in somehow. But I can't unless I move this pawn up one. Let's do this first. I don't like the idea of his pawn coming down. And then me taking it, him taking it. I mean, I could have took it back with the queen, I guess. Normally the knight's here defending it. I already took it, so I didn't have to worry about that. So I moved the fault based on how I felt because of my previous knowledge. You don't really have much of a chess intuition unless you have like previous knowledge. So it's like people say plan your intuition. It's like, well, you only can do that if you've played a lot of good classical chess, a lot of long time controls. You've got really familiar with the game. You've learned a lot, and you kind of, you kind of had a lot of experiences in chess. And then if like you kind of feel out moves after that. So like when a lot of masters and experts are like, oh, just use your, it depends if you have good chess intuition. It's like, well, you can build chess intuition. You don't just have chess intuition. I mean, some people can have it more than others naturally, but that's not enough. Like you have to study a lot to have pretty good chess intuition because it's based on like previous stuff that you've learned. That's pretty much what a lot of chess intuition is. I guess I'm abandoning this idea because I don't think it's going to work. I mean, I could have moved my pawns up here, both of them, and then move my knight up. Could have did that, but you could just take it, I take back, and, doesn't seem too much. And when I'm a rook here, and then take it and then attack this way. So, but then again, if his pawn first and then the rook, it would have been fine. Yeah, if I had longer time control, I would have figured that out. That's okay though. That's okay. But I still like this idea. So I think with pawn up one, give myself double pawns. I had to rook here first because if I'm giving myself double pawns, he's not going to want to do that because I'll be attacking his queen unless he can just move the pawn out the way. So it's actually not that bad. If he figures out possible movement for his queen, and it'll be fine. All right. Now if I move the rook out the way, well, it wouldn't matter. So if I take this here, he can just... Okay, he's piling up on the pawn. If I move up, back, here, and then here, I can do that. Maybe he helped me get what I wanted. And I can move my rook here. So when I start it, if he takes it, I take it. I don't want to do that. I'm fine with just moving this without losing a rook. And then if he takes it, I have a pretty good pawn chain. Very nice pawn chain. A pawn chain to be proud of. So now, if he hits this queen, if I don't move it properly, I'm going to lose it. Yeah, all right. Oh man, I can't move it here. How can I move it here? Is it possible? Attack the knight. Then I can move a queen in. And then move this around. I'm trying to maneuver my pieces to have control. I already have control of that square. I want to double down on that control of that square. Like I really want that square. I can move my queen back here. I'm not sure. I'm thinking that it's doing this because of my internet. I really am thinking that. Because never in my life. I don't know how. I'm trying to click on this button here. And it's not working. It's like settings. I was hoping you could do instant game rule, blue text. Nothing about the bots. If he had a great tactic, that means I'm going to be losing very soon. I get to find out. There's nothing there. Back here and here. It's 3 moves. Can he do anything? The queen can't go here or here because of my knight and my pawns. Looks pretty safe. Yeah, it took 5 seconds for that move. Yeah, it is my connection. It was 2:30, 2:27. I made the move, and then it didn't move until 3:22. So it is my connection. Well, at least now I know. It's gonna be pretty good though for my my opening studies against high level computers. Be like, can he beat me within this many moves or not? Now this is gonna have to move back because he attacks it pretty soon. It looks like, and I have forced to move back, and he can just take it, and I'll take it, and then he's gonna have. He can bring stuff down before I even. Okay. Mistakes. Okay, sweet. So it's like a perfect 16 move game. This actually is not that bad. How do I do a rematch? A new game, I guess. I was black twice. Hopefully this time they give me white. I have it on random. Oh man, I gotta do the Hurt King Indian all over again. I'm not doing any other opening because I would probably blunder a lot. I'm very familiar with the patterns of the King Indian. That's why it's important to study your opening and learn it. That's pretty much what I do. That's all I do. All right, no, get going. All right, let's get it going. It won't be the Budapest because once I go over here, it's already defended. So he literally can just kick my knight out, and then I'd be forced to go over here. So I can't. When he does that, I like playing the Budapest against d4, but when he played the ready, and then d4, it prevents the Budapest gambit. And I didn't realize that you can prevent it by, I thought you just don't play d4 to prevent it. I didn't realize if you play the ready, the Budapest becomes, So I guess people I play against, if they don't like the Budapest gambit, but they like playing d4, this would be the way to ensure that I play the King's Indian instead of playing the the Budapest. And also this also prevents me from playing. Well, it doesn't really prevent me from it. I could have anyways. I don't know. I'm not really used to the ready, but it transposes into stuff that I'm familiar with. Well, I'm gonna look for complications so that if someone does it to me in a game, I don't become confused. I want to be on creating the complications. That's why I'm looking at different ideas. That's too much time. 44, 45 is too much time. Book moves should be whipped out, like without a thought for the computer. Even if they're taking their time for other things, book moves should be like whipped out. All right. Last time I had a hard time trying to come in. I know he ended up moving his queen over here, and I just tried to block it off for some reason. I don't remember if I was castled or not in that position. But right now, I'm gonna. Oh, if he moves this out the way for any reason, this is an attack. So he can do that if he wanted. And if I were to take it, well, then again, it's fine because if he does that, he'll lose 2 pieces for my rook and pawn. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. See, my pawns aren't. Yeah, his pawns aren't the way they were before when I wanted control over this square. I still want control over it, but in this situation, I'll play c6. I'm not worrying about the control over that square. I'm not used to that position, so I was trying to play well in a position I wasn't used to. It says no blunders, no mistakes, so I'm pretty happy. But I still feel like I may have had more accurate moves than that. So having this video is perfect because even though it's not saved, I can just use the video to go back and play the moves in the engine to figure out how to gain control of that square. I want to know what move order I can do in the future and then memorize it because I play tournaments and I don't want to, any situation I'm confused at, I want to figure it out. And playing the 5-minute time control against the bot, I thought was going to be a full game. And now that it's not a full game and it's going to be half games, I have to adjust. And my adjustment is going to be openings. And any opening that I'm confused about, I'm going to make it into a study because I do not want to be confused in any opening, in any situation that I play, because I play tournaments. And I don't want to play in a tournament and be like, oh no, I didn't study this. The bot did this to me and I never figured it out. That would be very humiliating for me, at least for my, not like socially, because no one else is going to know about it but me, but personally. That's going to be personally humiliating, the fact that I can learn and I chose not to. Like I mean, I feel like I'm a very intelligent person. I think everyone is, but it just, yeah, it should be pretty easy. All right, so this pawn's under attack. I can't play this move yet, so I'm gonna first guard it, double guard it. That way, I can unguard it with my queen by moving my knight and then bringing the pawn up. So overprotection is important because when you overprotect a piece, like this being protected twice, it means I can unprotect it with another piece. So the queen's stuck guarding it. Now I gave the job to the rook, and then I move my knight in. So the rook is guarding it like I have planned, and then I can move the pawn up, which is then defended by the pawn, the rook, indirectly the queen, and also by the knight. And that way we can start the trades off. I have options on the trade, so it depends on how I feel and what's going on his next two moves. His move now, and then I move up. His move again, and then this. Now determine if I want to play e5 and determine which piece I want to capture with. That may change things, because if he takes it, do I take off the knight? And if I take off the knight, that'll be a little different. If I take off the bishop, oh, my bishop will be an extra protector of the e5. So I would take it back with the bishop. I'll do it now. Might as well pre-move it. I don't know if you see the seconds, but for me, it's skipping. 1.4.4. It's like it's skipping time. Two minor mistakes. So I'm gonna have to go back and look at what mistakes there were. It's only 11 moves. I shouldn't be making any mistakes within I mean, this is opening I'm comfortable with, to be honest, and that shouldn't be happening. So I'm gonna have to look at this. There is no rematch, which is weird. I'm gonna let it load for mistakes to see more, but it's at 2-0 something else, so it might not be the internet. It also might be my computer, because my computer is very old. It's not even it's a Chromebook. Okay, one mistake, blunders. Okay, I still have to check that out. I did this in a video, the first 5. The last 5, I'll figure out when to play it. I made a schedule. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to go about it. I'm going to be white this time. I have to be white the next 2 games, 2 or 3. All right. E4. I hope I get the Evans Gambit. It's my favorite opening. Yeah, 54, 50, 49, 48, 47. Okay, it's counting normal for now. I notice it counts odd at times. C5, that's the Sicilian. I like playing the Alpine, which is C3. But I don't play immediately. I play knight to F3 first, then I play C3. I don't want them to know I'm playing the Alpine. Usually I play it after I play d6. But even if they play knight f, I can still do it, because if they take it, it's actually a trap, because I can call check and take the knight. No, I can't take the knight. I'm sorry. If he goes here, I'd have to, yeah. Now it would be a check because of d6. d6 is like where my trap comes in. I delayed. I don't play the Alpine immediately. I like the delayed. I like it playing it after d6. So the reason why, if he goes here, now I can play bishop e2, and if he takes it, which he's not going to do, it's a 2200 computer, call it check and win it. If he plays knight to c6, and let's say I play e2, and let's say he plays knight to c6, I like to play the pawn up one to d4. And if he takes, I attack the knight. It doesn't matter where the knight goes. I have this check, and then I still win the knight over here. So that's the second part. The third part is if he goes, all right, he's starting the first part, even though he's not going to take it. And after knight to c6, I play this here. He's not going to do it. He's probably just going to take the pawn, and I take back. And he's going to have to figure out something else to do because of it. Now, if he plays a queen move, I would be able to target the queen. And then, there's a lot of different type of attacks that are possible. I just know the computer is not going to fall for them. But I still like them. I'm going to be done in about 30 minutes because the kids come home from school. I actually like this. Just focused on the open. Ooh, I messed up. He can just take it for free. I blocked off my I'm just talking and it's made a move. 5 seconds. I just wasn't even thinking at all. That's a free pawn. That's a no bueno. I gotta stop talking and start paying more attention. He's gonna take it. That's a free pawn. He's just taking forever. After he takes it, I'll castle. He can't move here because then I would obviously be able to do the trap. That's a no bueno. Well, at least I know. Ew. What is going on? If I take, he has two choices. If he takes back this way, I can attack the knight. If I take, he can just take here, and I can take. And if he takes back, he has an isolated pawn. So he either gets an isolated pawn, or I attack his knight. So I'm gonna look at the attacking his knight one. I like this. I like this. Okay, I like the. Okay, so now what about the isolated pawn one? Oh, he can just go back and attack off. He can take off his knight. I like it either way. If he takes back off his knight, that's fine. He'd have. Yeah, that's fine. I actually took my time on that. 5-minute openings. That's what's. Yeah, 5-minute openings. That's what we're doing. Okay, attack his knight. I can defend this pawn too if I wanted. Right here. This pawn is defending this corner, so I can't be checked. All right. He goes here. I defend it. He doesn't have much anywhere else to go. I mean, he can go here or back. Now, if he goes back, he's undeveloping, which is usually pretty bad. If he goes over here, it's like he really has nothing to do there. He can't go here because my bishop. He can't go here because my pawns. And then he can go back. Like, he has really nothing to do here. And if he goes back here, he's undeveloping, and he'd have to do a few more moves. So I'm assuming he's going to go here and either defend it with his bishop at some point or have a plan with a pawn push. And if I take on passant, he takes back. But I don't think he's going to go anywhere else besides knight e4. I try to put on his speed chess because I assume that if I had it on speed chess that we would play 5-minute games and be really crazy and exciting because he's like really, computer's really strong. But I think because my he's never felt this nervous since. Okay, well, I'm glad I, can help you with that. The only problem thing is that I thought it'd be very quick games and very exciting games, but now that it's really slow, it's because I have an old laptop. I think it's probably normal for everybody else. The good thing about this is it can help with my openings. Just focus on my openings against a super, against a higher bot. I know I made one mistake. I know that much. And he didn't take it for some reason. So he's probably going to be over right now. And then I check my mistakes, I look at it. And in the future, if I feel like looking it up, which I will. Oh, not this game, though, but the last game I am going to for sure. Wait to see what it says here. If it's just that one, I'm not going to review it. If there's more than that, I'll review it later in my own time. I don't have much time right now. Okay, so it was that one mistake early on. I was over here. Here, I moved too early. I was supposed to first defend this pawn. I usually play d3 in this position, but I was too focused on the trap and talking about it that I went for. Wait, the trap was first, and then that was a mistake. I'm sorry. I set up the trap, and then the trap wasn't going to work. Yeah, because if he would have taken it, I had check, and then I could have taken the knight. So that's the trap that I was setting up. And then I played d4, blocking my own trap, which is what you do after knight to c6. You can play here, because if he takes it, you attack the knight has to move, and then you get the free knight. That was a trap. But he played this move instead, and I was supposed to abandon the trap. After g6, I'm supposed to abandon the trap and play d3. So I already know where I went wrong on that one. I've never been so happy to have a slow computer in my life. I realized I can just focus on learning my openings and in very quick time control games against these higher bots. And that after 5 minutes, it's automatic, if they don't beat me in 5 minutes, then I basically win. This is a really good way to focus on my openings. Let's see what he's going to play. Last time he plays as Sicilian. I played 3 games as black. Now I'm playing 3 games as white. After this, I'm going to have one more game before I have to get off because the kids have school, so they're going to be home soon. Man, it took like a lot of time before he even said that. Almost 45 seconds. All right. I know my computer is slow, but man, you're making it look like it's a lot worse than what it is. Okay, Sicilian it is. Let's go. First game and second game in the Sicilian opening. Usually every game I played so far was almost near perfect. I think at one game I had one mistake, which I knew where it was. Every other game he said it was perfect except for, so 2 were perfect and 2 were minor mistakes. The other one I had 2 minor mistakes. I had to go back with the internet on that one, on the engine. Sicilian French. Now Sicilian French, if you play e4 against the normal French, they basically do end up at some point, like even if you play the advanced or something, they at some point play c5. So the Sicilian French is kind of the same thing as a regular French almost, just changing the order. So, which sucks because for me, I have an opening report against the French. I play e5. When they play e6, I play d3. And then when they get into the French, I play knight to d2. That's my move. So like that's what I normally play against the French. So like the Sicilian French really messes up my opening against the French. So I'm gonna have to learn how to play against the Sicilian French, because like I said, I play e5, e6. I protect my pawn. He brings it up. I play knight to d2 is what I play. If they capture, I usually capture back with my knight. This is what I usually play. Well, not my knight, my pawn. I'm sorry. And then if he plays here, I ignore it because he can't take it. And then I go around. That's what I usually play against the French. And then I have like a King's Indian setup. Against the Sicilian French, I can't do that setup because I already played c3, and usually it doesn't work out the same way. It's kind of, it blocks in this bishop. And I already made a whole bunch of pawn moves, and I can't move my bishop here. Usually I end up playing my bishop over here at some point, you know, in that setup. On c3, I can't do that. So I got to find a different setup for that. And I didn't realize that until now. So that's pretty helpful. Defend my knight. If I move my bishop anywhere else, I you know, it's like I don't really see the huge point of it because I want to eventually move my pieces and stuff. I just want to go ahead and trying to think of like different ideas and stuff of what to do here. I'm not used to these positions. Like I said, I'm not used to this position at all because of the way I normally play the Alpine. So now I know I got to do some homework. If I move up, let's see, he takes. If I take, I would have an isolated pawn. Okay, so he prevented all that. Yeah, he just literally prevented all of that. Did he? Let's say I go up. And he takes. And I take. And he takes. I can't take. If I take, I lose my knight. And I can't take back as a queen. I would lose a pawn if I play d4 right now. I would just lose a pawn outright. This bishop belongs over here. So I guess what I did earlier was considered a half a move. I developed, but this bishop belonged here. And right now, if I came here and he would have taken, I would have taken. If he would have taken back, I would have taken the knight, and then I would have been able to take the pawn. So bishop e2 was a probably a mistake in the opening. So against the French defense one, I guess I'm supposed to not play bishop e2 like I normally play in the Sicilian Alpine. So I got to play bishop e5 in the French Sicilian. Oh, I didn't even have to look it up. I play it now. Kind of a little late because you can push. but I can move my rook over, and he can't take it because of the pin. He can't do that. It'd be a legal move. So that would give me a little bit of time. And I can move my pawn up to attack it. That'll give me some time. It also gives him time to do this as well. So, all right. Now my bishop is trapped in here. I don't want to go back because, like, if he did something like this, my bishop would be way over here. The knight is controlling the square, so I'm going to take it, and then we're working to attack this pawn. And this bishop looks like it's trapped in. I'm going to have to sacrifice a pawn at some point. Now, let's say if he takes it, and I threaten his pawn, and let's say he defends the pawn, or he don't have to defend it. His queen's doing good. He develops a normal move. I'm going to have to sacrifice his pawn. And the reason I have to sacrifice his pawn is so my bishop can come out. So, all right, attacking this pawn here. And if he does move down, I can go here, but he can also move here and attack my knight again. So if he goes down, let's pretend I go here. If he were to attack my pawn again, my knight again, I may have to bring my knight back. If he goes this way to pin my knight to the queen, that's uncomfortable. So if he goes down, I would maybe have to go over here with the idea, well, I'll be threatening this. It's not bad. I'll be threatening that. Okay. One mistake. I honestly think that mistake I made was that bishop e2 move. That definitely had to have been my mistake. The bishop e2 move. But I will look at it at a later time. I do have a tournament this weekend, so now I know I'm going to have to learn the French variation of the Sicilian. So I'm going to do one more before I get going. You know how when I play the bots, it's usually a lot faster. The bots are taking these on a laptop. They're taking 20 seconds to 40 seconds to move. So I can't do the speed chess like I wanted. I wanted to do speed chess today, but I ended up finding out that I can just do openings, and they'll basically lose. They basically lose on time, but it allows me to focus on my openings. So like if I make a mistake in the opening, I can go back and be like, "This is my mistake," instead of the whole entire game. So I found a way to take advantage of it. But, all right. Yeah. All right. This is the last one. So I learned so far today that I need to get an opening report for the Sicilian French defense. And there was one of the old Indian games on game 2. So I'm going to go back and watch and run through the computer and see what I can do to fix my opening, because I had 2 minor mistakes in the opening. All right, this is perfect. Now, if he does a French, I should have an answer for it a little better than last time. And hopefully the bar down here says 0 mistakes. And that's how I do my openings. You don't even need to play a time control for that. You can have 0 time control. You see, French, bam. This is beautiful. This is perfect. So now as the French defense, I haven't moved c3 yet. I can decide how do I play this out. If I play here, it'll be very similar to like it'll be as if. Okay, so if I play c3 though, I wouldn't play that against the French. When I play against the French is I play here. So right now, if I gotta play d3 first, I think. Maybe I can't play my normal moves. d3, if he goes up, knight to d2, if he takes, I take. And yeah, I might be able to do my normal setup here. If I might not even have to study a whole new variation. I think I figured out. You see, if I left here today, without playing this game, I would have tried to learn a whole new variation. I think I figured out how to not, because I like limiting the amount of studying I have to do for openings, because I need to focus on the middle game, tactics, learning end games, because I want to, I want to be professional, and I do want to be a chess coach. So it's like either or I'd be happy with. Um, people already sometimes pay me for lessons here and there, which is nice. And it is helpful for motivation and also helpful because I'm actually teaching people stuff. So it's helpful in those two regards. Okay, so if he takes this here now, I take back with the pawn, and I can do my normal setup. My normal setup against the French is this right here, the King's Indian attack against the French, and then I castle. And the reason why I do that is because Black have a lot of space on the queen side, and they have this bishop here, the knight here, the queen can come out this way. They have like a lot of queen side attack. So all I have to do is fianchetto my king on the king side, have my pawns close to home, and eventually lock in the center if I can. If I lock in the center, what happens is that I can bring my knight around and my queen around, and I can have this huge attack on the king side because my bishop can come out. And usually, if I can lock in the center, I'm capable of doing a lot of damage on the king side because his pieces will be over on the queen side by the time the opening is over. Because in the French, they usually focus on the queen side. So if they're on the queen side and the center is locked, and my pieces are on the king side, and I start pushing my pawns up a little bit, I can have a really good attack going. Now, against a move like this right here, basically, if I fianchetto my bishop and he comes down to attack again, my knight really doesn't have a really good square to go to besides going back, right? So then I don't want to go here. If let's say I go somewhere else, bishop to h3, which is extremely weird. I never see that except for beginners. But if I do that, then I castle. I don't like it too much either because I wanted my pawn up at some point and then my knight down and over. I might be able to move my pawn up here now. But then what if he goes here? And then I go back, and then he attacks here. Maybe move pawn up one, locking these pawns in. Yeah, because when I open up the king side, what I normally do is after going here and castling, I like to move my pawn up one or two squares and try to break it open by capturing something or even pushing farther so my rook can be in the game. That's what I usually do. So in order to do that here in a move that I don't understand, I had to change the order. So I had to do this first. And this is why plans are important, like middle game plans and end game plans. Like when you understand your end game plans and your middle game plans, when something's off a little bit with your opponent, you'd have to figure out the strength and weaknesses. And the weaknesses I had is that if I continue the same way, I can really mess up my coordinations of my pieces. But what I did here was I'm gonna make this move anyways, but I was forced to make it earlier because of this move here. So it's and he might look like he might castle queenside. That's very possible as well. If he does castle queenside and all my forces are on the king side, I'm going to have a hard time getting to his king. So, and it's fine. It's not super bad because the center is going to be locked. So if the center is locked, hopefully I could get the center locked. And if the center is locked and he castles king side, queen side, and I'm castled king side, then I'm going to have to find a way to make sure my king is safe and find a way to attack his king. Usually, the way you attack the king after queenside castling is A and B pawns. Obviously, I can't do the B pawn right away because he can just take it. Very possible to play the A pawn. Maybe even play, something like this, even possible. That way, if he takes it, you take back. And then, this pawn is usually weak on the queenside castling. He already moved up a bit, so his king will be kind of exposed. So breaking this would be fine. So either way he castled, I think he's going to be in a bad spot, to be honest. And if he goes down now, let's say he goes down now, and I take it, it's a free pawn still. All right. I know he made a move right here, and I don't like the pressure of these two bishops. I don't like the pressure of these two bishops. When the pawns, if he ever moves the pawns at all, I'm going to be more in danger. I want to move this up one, but I can't. Well, actually, I can't because I'll take it and it's still there. So I'm going to move this up one now. I want to lock in the center a little bit more. I really do. I want a castle as well, but because the pressure of the bishops, I'm worried about him moving up one. And then let's say if he would move up and I take it, well, he will take it with his bishop. And I really don't want him to have an attack going on the king side. So I wanted to move up one to prevent that. So I guess I'm in the opening. I guess this is going to help me with the opening and a little bit of the middle game plan. So move 8. So far, it's been between 8 and 16 moves doing this, and I'm super happy about it. I'm super happy that I can do this. So now if I castle now, and he goes down 1, and I take it, and he takes it, my knight has to go somewhere. So the knight usually goes over here, which is perfectly fine, because if the knight goes here, he'll be attacking his pawn. Here's the problem. If that happens right now, this pawn's going to fall. That pawn's going to fall. So I might have to move the queen over. He goes down. I take it. He can't take it because then I'll take the rook. And it's protecting this pawn. So if eventually I castle and he does, let's pretend I go here, right? And then I castle. Let's say he brings in the move, and then I castle. If he goes here, I can take it. He can take it back now because of that. And if I had to move my knight back to attack this pawn twice, this is still defended by my queen. So I like that. So I like queen to e2. I don't see another way to defend e2 pawn. Maybe here, but he'll just take it. So it's not good either. So there's no other way I can see defending this pawn. Do I have to defend the pawn? Absolutely. I want to lock in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and get it started. And he's going to make 1 or 2 more moves, and then that's it. That's game over for the opening. So I love this. I love the fact that even though it's unexpected, I found a way to study openings a lot better against computer. All right, he's defending his pawn again. So now if I castle, and then he moves up 1, if I take it, he takes it back, he's defending it. So now I'm going to have to go back. I'll be attacking it twice, and he can defend it again. So then I have to find a way to attack this pawn another time, a third time. And the only way to attack the pawn a third time would be, I don't see how right away. I usually move the knight here and over here, which would attack it again. So I can do that. I can find, okay, it looks good to me. I have a few seconds left, so I couldn't calculate too much, but I would calculate it later on. And also have to find a way to see if, all right, that's good. All right, I take. And there's game over. He would normally take back in a real person, but the bot's taking a lot of time. Hopefully I make 0 mistakes. Ooh, 1 blunder. 1 blunder. That's super huge. I am going to have to game review that. You know what? I'll game review it right now. I'll game review it now. Hopefully my laptop can handle this, or my Chromebook, I mean. I know it's going extra slow. And I'm really happy about that. I've never been so happy about that in my life. I clicked on it. It's not working. Okay, there it goes. I'm going to have to change which screen I'm sharing in order for you guys to see it. So how do I do this? Okay, that took it off. Now I'm going to have to switch the Chrome tab. Analysis board editor. All right, I'm sharing it now. So hopefully it pops up. There it goes. Well, I see it on my screen. Hopefully it pops up on yours. All right, it's on your screen too. Oh, I didn't blunder. Okay, I'm like, this is huge. Like, if I blundered, man, that'd be huge. I'm not interested in I'm definitely not interested in making a blunder in the opening. So start. G3 is the last book move. Sicilian defense opening. You played this opening almost 400 times. Yeah, most of my openings are usually a little above 50%, but not a whole lot. The King's Indian attack. Yep, that's exactly what I was going for. Well, it's nice, adjustable course. All right, what does this right here say? Just look a little. I'm not going to click on that. I might click on it later. Okay, that's a mistake. I've never seen that before in my life, but it's considered a mistake. H3. Missed opportunity to develop a queen off a starting square. So apparently it wanted me to go to queen at E2. So I want to do show moves. All right. Apparently after H6, wait, H3 was an inaccuracy. It's showing what would happen after H6. I want to see the best. Okay, this is what I want to see. Like, what was the point? Okay, all right. So if I would have moved. Oh. So if I would have moved bishop E2 instead. Okay, let's go back to H3. If, instead of that move, if I would have moved bishop E2 instead, and he would have went up, nothing, he could have went here. And I would have taken the pawn for free. I wanted bishop E2. Now I gotta find out if bishop E2 is good or not, because that's the move I would prefer in that position. I know it said queen at E2 is best. What I played was 0.5 bad, I guess. Yeah, the 0.7 difference. Queen at E2. What is that? That's what he did. I'm sorry. Bishop G2. Let's see what the computer feels about that. Come on, come on. Please don't take 20 seconds. It might take 20 seconds. That's how long. In fact, I actually, you know what? It's probably going to take 20 seconds. That's how long it takes for the computer to make a move. Maybe that's why they take so long. It's because they don't evaluate very quickly. Give it a few seconds. The reason I want to know if this is a good move or not is because in the future, I would prefer bishop G2 if it's decent, and then queen to E2, because I feel like I'm developing more and have more of a purpose. Because if the queen is going to come up and just take that pawn anyways, well, I want my bishop here, right? Now, unless there's something specifically that he can do at this moment that's going to be harmful for my opening, then I prefer bishop to G2. H3 was an inaccuracy, but it wasn't really bad. I wanted to prevent it because I didn't. For some reason, I thought this was really bad for me, and for some reason, I thought he can take it, but his bishop wasn't here. So I was worried about it, like where my knight go after that. And it's like, well, I don't have to go anywhere because the queen could take it. So that's why I didn't move it, because I thought the queen can take it. I mean, he can take the knight. So, but that's not going to happen. These are the moves. And then if I won't castle here, I'll take the pawn. So now I want to see this, but it's taking too long. I'm gonna have to evaluate myself, I guess, on my own time. But if it's like a plus 0.3, I'd play it. I'd play it. This is not that bad because I'm comfortable and I understand it. You know, Queen at E2, I don't understand. It's considered the best, but I don't know how to play it. Like, I have my ideas and plans, but like, is it because the Queen has this diagonal? Because I would never want to do that. I want to shut this down. That's how I play this opening, shutting this down, and I don't want to do something completely different just because it's the best move and have like this is why like only knowing best moves are bad is because like you'd have to have millions of plans for each one of them you need something different, especially if it doesn't go along with your current plan. And that's how they catch cheaters anyways, is because you're playing a whole bunch of moves that are really good that don't go along with any plans because the computer doesn't need plans. They know what's best, humans, we need plans. All right, so it's basically done. This is not gonna happen. All right, I'm gonna just go ahead and continue. I already know what I want to do, and I'll figure out on my own time. E5. It's not super bad. I wanted to do that before I castled. It's saying castling is best. Then after castling h6. What if you would have taken here? Not h6, but I was worried about this pawn here. Oh, it wouldn't have mattered. I was just worried about this right here, but he had nothing anyway, so it didn't actually even matter. So I was preventing something that. Okay, I see now. I was preventing something that wasn't even a threat. Yeah, when you prevent threats that don't exist, they're usually mistakes. Like if you're like, why is this a mistake? Why is this a mistake? It's like you're preventing a threat that you don't need to because it's not a real threat. And when you prevent threats that are unnecessary to prevent, those are usually considered mistakes because you're not developing properly. You're not getting ready to attack. You're not like, for example, E5. All it did was made me waste a move. I could castle. Why is castling important? Well, castling is a part of development. It's finishing my development. There was no real threat, and I'm getting ready to bring my rook into the game. This right here doesn't prepare any of that, and that's why it's a mistake. And it's preventing something that wasn't a real threat. When you prevent real threats, most mistakes are like that. See, it doesn't make any sense because I'm targeting squares that I can't take. So I would never think of that. He'll take it here. If I go here, the bishop will take it. If I go here, he'll take it. So I'm literally putting in a square that, it may prevent this move though, but being here prevents it also. All right, overall, I'm happy with this. This is fine. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you learned a little bit. I see now how to do openings, how to study openings a little bit better. Just play the computer, and after between 10 and 18 moves, you can just resign the game if you want and go over it. I would suggest 10 moves at first. If you're a beginner, I would suggest 10 moves against a really strong computer. And then after 10 moves, just resign, not because you lost, but because the point of it is to review. And then after that, you review it, and you can come up with different ideas and stuff. Like you're not playing the computer to beat them; you're playing the computer to learn, especially at a higher level. This is a significantly higher level than mine. So. Okay, so by the time the game was over, I was at -1. so I didn't do super good. But it wasn't that bad either. It's going to be difficult to find a way to take advantage of my minor mistakes. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching. I'm going to get going now. I'm going to try my best to go on every day to stream a little bit and teach online this way. And if you guys want to interact and so forth, that's fine too. I mentioned my schedule in the beginning of this. I'll say it again in case you missed it. Monday, I was going to do puzzle day. Tuesday, group game versus 1200 bot. And the way that would work is it's going to be one game only. And I want whoever's online, if you can, suggest one or two moves and try to talk about it, each and every move. And yeah, I'm going to see how that goes. I hope it works well. Wednesday, speed chess versus 1220 bot, which is now going to be considered opening day openings. Thursday, my own games, full game. And after one full game, probably a 10-minute time control. After one full game, I'm going to analyze it. The problem is I can't analyze it here because my computer is too slow. But I'll still analyze it, and I'll probably use an engine on my phone to help and discuss things. And then Saturday and Sundays, Fridays will be duck chess or variants, any other variant. Probably magic chess as well they have. And then Saturday and Sundays, I'm going to do game versus viewers if I'm able to. I'm not 100% if I'm able to, but I'm going to try my best to be on. But I don't know yet. All right. Thank you for your time. Like, subscribe, and share. I hope you do. I don't know. Thank you for your time.